Today, we're talking about fantasy football strategies. By choosing the right strategy every draft season, you can really boost your championship odds. Today, we're going to break down 7 different draft strategies from zero running back to elite tight end. We'll be figuring out which strategies actually win championships the most and which ones will work best for you this 2025 season. First off, let's talk about the most popular strategy out there. Zero running back. Zero running back isn't about hating running backs, it's about dodging the landmines. You pass on fragile, overvalued early running backs and take advantage of chaos that always happens at the position. Zero running back is more of a structure, not a set of handcuffs. Let's be honest, drafting can be difficult at times. Zero running back helps you not have to be right on every single pick. You lean into positions with more stability and upside early, and then you bank on injuries in the running back position, and you can grab them off the waivers later. The running back position can be completely chaotic at times. You have to worry about injuries, running back committees, coaches changing their mind mid-game because of fumbles. Last season alone, only 12 running backs had 250 or more carries. Some are saying the bell cow running back is completely dead. The job is dangerous, and unless you're a complete stud, you're probably going to be a committee. It's simple. Running backs don't always produce like wide receivers do. Running backs need volume to be useful, and volume is not always guaranteed. It lies a lot into the game script. If the team is down by a bunch of points, they're going to be throwing the ball, they're not going to be running up the middle. If you're not targeting running backs in the first few rounds, what are you looking for running backs in late rounds? Well, you're looking for chaos agents, running backs behind aging or fragile starters, those with sneaky pass catching chops. So if a team is down, they're going to be throwing the ball to these running backs. So what traits are we looking for in these late round guys? We're looking for running backs that might be in a committee or behind an aging vet. We're looking for good pass catchers plus an athlete with big play potential. We're looking for history of production in college or pros. A team likely to fall behind and pass a lot. So some guys that come to mind this season that you want to be targeting is Henderson on the Patriots, David Montgomery, Quinton Judkins, Caleb Johnson, Tony Pollard, DeAndre Swift, Jordan Mason, or Zach Charbonnet. You also want to target backup running backs in good offenses. So if the first string guy goes down, you have the second string ready to go, ready to get all the work. For example, last year, Christian McCaffrey went down, and then Jordan Mason came in and was a real league winner. So these are the type of guys that you're looking for. This strategy can be great for those that are really active on the waivers. If you're running zero running back in redraft, you need to be aggressive on the waivers. You're going to use Fab like it's your best friend. Target backups to injury-prone starters before they go down. This is just important. You need to be an active player to run this strategy because, let's be honest, running backs is the most important position in fantasy football. So going zero running back, you're automatically at a disadvantage until you actually start picking up those backup running backs or players that have that potential to break out at the end of the season. Zero running back works best in full PPR formats where wide receiver volume dominates, but can still win in half PPR. If elite wide receivers are flying off the board early, that's your green light. But if people are skipping on running backs and letting guys like Barkley, Bijan Robinson, Gibbs, Christian McCaffrey fall to the second round, you need to pivot and anchor running back and take the value. Zero running back isn't a safe strategy, but it's a powerful one. You're betting on chaos, and if one thing the NFL delivers every year is absolute chaos. In 2025, I would give this strategy a solid B. There's a lot of talent in the wide receiver position, the first and second round, and there's a bit of a dip in the third, fourth, fifth round where you can find some great values at running back. There's some young rookies and some promising guys in the later rounds that you can take a flyer on. So if you are going zero running back, I could see it potentially working. Again, if I can get a Bijan, Shaquan Barkley, Jahmyr Gibbs, Christian McCaffrey, some of those bigger guys, I'm still going to take that overall. But this strategy can work, and the only problem is it's becoming more and more popular. So if your draft is going in that direction where there is a lot of wide receivers going off the board, I would recommend, grab some running backs. The next strategy we're talking about is the hero running back or anchor running back. I've heard it both ways. The hero running back is like dating one reliable person and just ghosting the rest of the roster. You grab one stud early, maybe a Christian McCaffrey, a Bijan Robinson, a Shaquan Barkley, a Jahmyr Gibbs, and then you vanish from the running back position till the late rounds. So you're still getting that one stud, but you're also targeting sleepers and kind of like a little bit of the strategy that we talked about before, those backup running backs that could break out, those pass catching running backs. This isn't exactly fantasy football rocket science. Year in, year out, hero running backs prove to be one of the most successful strategies in fantasy football. It just makes sense. You lock in on a high floor, high upside back early, someone like CMC in 2023 or Barkley in 2024, then build the rest of your core at wide receiver, QB, tight end, while everyone else panics when they're trying to find an RB2. And the best part is this is the most flexible strategy you can do. You don't have to be a zero running back monk or a robust running back maniac. Hero running back is for the people. You get your bell cow ideally in the first or second round, then fade running backs until round 6 or later. It's a strategy for drafters who don't want to get caught in the running back dead zone. You're not constantly looking an entire draft just hoping that you can find that one guy that's going to prove himself. Hero running back is less extreme than zero running back. It doesn't demand that you go all in on one position. You get the best of both worlds. You anchor your team with one elite back, then you go nuts on wide receiver, scoop up the elite tight ends or QB value if they fall. You still get access to breakout wide receivers, and you can pair your hero running back with a high upside sleeper later. A quick example of a draft board that really would work is round 1, you get Bijan Robinson. Round 2, Lad McConkey. Round 3, Marvin Harrison Jr. You're getting that stud running back, and then you're getting 2 younger wide receivers that still have a lot to prove in the league. They have that elite upside and they can win you the league. I'm absolutely loving this strategy in 2025, and I'd give it a solid A, as long as your hero doesn't turn into a psychic. But with one workhorse running back, you can avoid the dead zone, you own the middle rounds, and you can still get that elite stack with a wide receiver and quarterback. And this is going to get you real far in 2025. Next up, we're going to talk about 2 QB strategies. The first, late round QB. So you're waiting till round 10 plus for your QB. You focus on those skill players first. Let's be honest, this strategy used to work a whole lot better when people weren't as knowledgeable at fantasy football. Nowadays, it's really hard to find those late round gems that turn into these elite quarterbacks. I mean, last year, Jaden Daniels was being taken in the 3rd or 4th round just because of his elite upside and his running ability. People are studying more and more fantasy football. It just makes it harder and harder to find those gems. 63% of QBs taken early finish top 5. Only 16% of QBs after round 11 crack the top 5. So taking a flyer on a late round quarterback, you're really looking for a needle in a haystack. It's not as easy as it used to be, and the odds are saying that this is not the right strategy for you. You can still hit on a late round quarterback, but the odds are shrinking. Unless the sleeper radar is on fire, the strategies are fading fast. You're targeting guys like Justin Fields, Jordan Love, or Trevor Lawrence in those later rounds. And 2025, I would give this a C. So we talked about late round QB. Now let's talk about elite QB. You take a top tier QB by round 4. Get it? Elite, consistent production. This is the new wave, and frankly, it makes a lot of sense. Elite quarterbacks are scoring more consistently, and we're getting better and better at predicting who they'll be. QBs drafted in the top 4 rounds have a historical hit rate of approximately 64%, though rookie success may vary. You can grab Hurts, Allen's, Jaden Daniels in round 3 or 4. They are locked for weekly upside. Just don't get too cute and take a QB before CeeDee Lamb or something like that. In 2025, I'd give this a solid B. I mean, it's reliable, predictable, and very much in play. Personally, I prefer to still shoot for like the 5 to 8 round quarterbacks, just because there is so much elite value in the first 4 rounds. And I think this year you can still find some great gems in that range. But honestly, if you're taking Jalen Hurts and Jaden Daniels, you're looking pretty good. The next strategy is called zero wide receiver, and this is not a very popular strategy, and you won't see it a lot. Zero wide receivers like skipping breakfast because you think lunch will make up for it. Spoiler, it usually doesn't, unless you're eating 3 keto burritos and a sigh of luck. The stats don't lie here. 64% of all top 20 wide receivers are drafted in round 1 or 2. Late round wide receivers rarely crack the top 24. Wide receiver demand is at all-time high right now. Like I said, the zero running back strategy is becoming more and more popular. We've all heard of zero running back, but now enter the villain arc. Zero wide receiver. The ultimate counter to zero running back, correct? No. Zero wide receiver is based on the belief elite running backs and tight ends are rare and more valuable than those wideouts. You draft like a fancy doomsday prepper, stockpiling running backs and elite tight ends early while everyone else panic picks wide receivers like a Costco run. And then you hold those elite running backs and those elite tight ends hostage for your league mates to trade for. For example, this is getting Shaquan Barkley round one. Round two, you're targeting someone like Achan or Chase Brown. Round three, Jalen Hurts. Round four, George Kittle. Zero wide receiver in a managed league is like walking in the tightrope in a windstorm. If you don't hit on multiple mid-round wide receiver breakouts, your weekly floors are absolute toast. It is so much harder to find a elite wide receiver off of waivers that will be consistent and really do a good job for you. Well, the risk is wide receiver bust rate after round 5 is 70% plus. Tight end and running back injuries is also a huge risk. If one of your guys goes down, you're just done. Week to week, wide receiver vitality can be just awful for your team. And it's not 2005 anymore. Wide receivers are the new workhorses. They're more consistent, more explosive, and they don't get replaced by a dude off the practice squad midseason. In 2025, my final grade for the strategy is D+. I really don't like it at all. Only consider zero wide receiver if you get elite running back / tight end value early and wide receivers are flying off the board. And maybe if you're in best ball and kind of reckless, it could pay off there. So again, in 2025, I'm giving this a D+. Unless you're anti-wideout where you forget how to scroll in a draft, get yourself a wide receiver. Next up is elite tight end. You take Bowers or McBride super early. You lock in that top tier positional advantage. Kelsey has been the fantasy cheat code for years, and now Bowers might be the new king of consistency. 82% of tight ends drafted in rounds 1 through 3 return top 5 value from 2019 to 2024. The unfortunate part, if you miss on those 2 or 3 guys, though, you're just punting the tight end and kind of praying at that point. But if you can get Bowers in the second round or McBride in the third, I mean, you have a shot. I don't hate it. Still not my favorite strategy. I'd give it a solid B-. There's a positional advantage if done right. Just don't force it and get one of these guys in the first round. This strategy works a little bit more on bigger leagues. So if you're running in a 12-man league, 14-man, 16-man league, that positional advantage is way better for you. If you're in a smaller league, I wouldn't really look into it that much. All right, we're talking about my favorite strategy now. It's called the stack attack. You pair your quarterback with his elite wide receiver and you maximize that upside, baby. I love this. This one is just so much fun to have on your team. This strategy is like investing in Apple and owning an iPhone. When it hits, you're rich in points. When it busts, I mean, at least you had a plan. QB wide receiver stacks increase the odds of weekly top 5 finishes by up to 30%. That is just a huge advantage that you can have week in and week out. Your QB and wide receiver don't operate in fantasy silos. When one eats, they both feast. Think like Burrow and Chase. Tua and Tyreek a few years ago. The numbers move together. Burrow throwing 4 touchdowns is nice, but you know what's even better than that? If you have Jamar Chase on your team and he just caught 2 of those, your team just went nuclear. You just gained 12 extra points, not even calculating in the yards that you got. Tips for the stack attack: you prioritize stacking early with elite wide receiver / QB or elite tight end QB combos. Don't reach 2 full rounds past ADB just to force a stack. Secondary stacks, QB plus tight end, QB plus wide receiver 2 also hold value. Why does it work? Stacking reduces the number of things you have to do to go right. You're not hoping that 5 different guys pop. You just need one offense to pop big. This is my absolute favorite strategy. In 2025, I'd give that a solid A+. If you can really get the right guys, you can really have that upside every single week. A lot of people think that the stack attack only works in best ball, but in redraft leagues, this is a big advantage for you as well. And again, it's just so much fun when you're watching a team and you have 2 guys and they just go off together. Rubbing it into your league mate's face is just one of the best things ever. So again, in 2025, go get that stack attack. There you have it, 7 strategies that you can use in 2025 this draft season. Whether you're fading running backs, stacking stars, or trying not to draft that guy that burnt you last year, the key is knowing what fits your league and your play style. That's all I have for you guys today. Thank you if you're still watching this for tagging along this long. I mean, I'm a smaller channel, so just by clicking on this video and watching this far, you are doing so much for me, and I really appreciate you. If you found any of these strategies helpful, please hit that like button. And if you want to tag along with me this NFL season, please subscribe. I would love to have you. We can have a lot of fun this NFL season, as well as win some fantasy football championships. So leave a comment. What strategy is your favorite down below? And again, this is Scott Smith at Bootleg Fantasy. I'll see you next time.